What's up, everybody? It's Coach Kev, and today I want to have a nice little conversation with all of y'all. So if you know, or maybe you don't know, I am a basketball enthusiast. I'm a former high school and college basketball player. I'm currently a head coach. And like many people who are in love with a sport, they usually have a favorite player. So today I'm going to talk to you about who my favorite player is and why he is my favorite player. So without further ado, drum roll please. My favorite player is Chris Paul. And the reason he's my favorite player is because he's great at basketball. Till next time, this is Coach Kev, and I'm out. Peace. Y'all really didn't think that was it, right? Right? I'm here for the long run. That was a good joke though. Maybe not. So Chris Paul is my favorite player. And the first time I seen him play was when he was at Wake Forest University as a freshman, and he went up against UNC, the University of North Carolina. They had a lot of good players. Raymond Felton, Rashad McCants, Sean May. I might be outdating myself with these names, but if you look it up, you can see that UNC squad was tough. So I'm watching this young freshman play against him, and he's trash talking with Raymond Felton. He's telling him he can't guard me, just going, attacking him, playing hard, and just not backing down from nothing. And I'm like, wait, who is this kid? Let me do some research on him and just see what his whole background is all about. And this is the first video that popped up.
How could a missed free throw in a gym outside Winston-Salem, North Carolina, qualify as one of this year's most memorable shots? Maybe because this free throw tells a story about the respect and affection that two men shared.
I felt my granddad was my biggest fan. I'd go out to the service station to see him, and he'd just be, he's always bragging on me and my brother about how good we were, and he just made me feel different.
The very next day, November 15th, Chris was at a high school football game when a cousin told him shocking news. His grandfather had been found murdered.
We went to my granddad's house, and I didn't want to believe it. And all I wanted to do when I get out the car was see my granddad, and they wouldn't let me. Everybody has to die, but I just thought that my granddad was one of those people who never would. Never would.
Still grieving days later, Chris seized on a plan to honor his grandfather in his next game by scoring 1 point for every year of his grandfather's life, all 61 of them. With less than 2 minutes to go in the game, Chris had scored 59 points. Then he drove to the hoop, took a hard foul, and the shot dropped. He had his 61.
And I laid it up, and I got fouled, and it went in. And I laid there for a second and was just overwhelmed, because I knew that at this moment in time, this is something I would never forget. It felt like I could have just died and went to heaven right there. It felt like my purpose for being here was almost over.
His total left him just 6 points away from the state record for most points in a game. But as he walked to the foul line, that didn't matter. 61 did.
I walked to the free throw line, the referee gave me the ball and shot an air ball right out of bounds. And my coach took me out. I just looked at my dad and started crying.
His grandfather had the first ever black-owned service station in North Carolina. And he was tragically murdered one day after Chris signed to Wake Forest University to play college basketball. 2 days after his death was Chris's first game of his senior year for high school. If you're not able to relate to that, then I just can't vibe with you. For him to dig down deep in his soul, to find the energy to put on a performance like that is incredible. And from that point on, I fell in love with his game. There was an incident where he punched another player in the private area, but we're not gonna talk about that.
You can see Julius Hodge right there grabbing Chris Paul, holding his hand. Then this is it as it goes along, and you see the punch right there.
So I continued to follow him through college, and the more and more I watched him, the more and more I tried to mimic his moves and mimic his playing style. And then came the NBA. You would always hear stuff like he's two different people on and off the court. Off the court, he's this nice guy to be around, fun-loving, and then on the court, he's ultra competitive, an assassin, you don't want to mess with him type of player. And that's the type of player I wanted to be when I was playing basketball. You can see this by this video I'm about to show you. Game 4 playoffs, Chris Paul was drafted by New Orleans, and they're going up against the late, great Kobe Bryant and the LA Lakers. But Chris is not backing down. He puts up a triple-double, and he goes on to say this after the game.
Bad left thumb, injured it Friday. Now the gash above his eye. Hornets on a little 6-0 run. The crossover on Kobe by Chris Paul. A jaw-dropping move by CP3. His first 2 tonight.
And a technical on Chris Paul. It looked like he had words with Kobe Bryant.
Yep.
After that lay-in. You're talking about a crossover right here. Chris Paul just dancing with the stars right here. Gets by Kobe Bryant. Might have gotten a little bit of a buff.
Chris Paul 5 of 10. Blake is on him. Foul. Blake. Count it!
I know you and Kobe Bryant are good friends, but during the playoffs, there's no love there. You guys were battling each other.
No, he do me the same way. You know, and it's all in fun, but, you know, this is our livelihood. You know, I don't care if my mama was out on the court. I'd hit her too. You know, I don't care if my mama was out on the court. I'd hit her too.
Now, last but not least, even though I was semi-joking in the beginning, Chris Paul is my favorite player because he's pretty good at basketball. You don't usually have a favorite player in any sport that's not good at the sport that they play or they participate in. So I've pretty much been literally and figuratively following him his whole career. He started off as a rookie on the New Orleans Hornets. I went to New Orleans to go watch him play. Then he got traded to the Los Angeles Clippers. I went to LA to watch him play. Then he gets traded to the Houston Rockets, and I'm not able to go to Houston to watch him play. Before I can even get a chance to, he gets traded to the Oklahoma City Thunder. And now you guys know, I'm not going to Oklahoma City to see basketball. And I don't even know if he's gonna stay there, but wherever he ends his career, when he does decide to end his career and I see that the time is dwindling down, I'm definitely gonna go visit and watch him play in the final stages. I believe that I've seen him play 5 times in his career. The first time, New Orleans Hornets vs Miami Heat. He was playing for New Orleans. The second time, the LA Clippers vs the LA Lakers. He was playing for the Clippers. Then 2 times I seen him play against the New York Knicks while he was still with the LA Clippers. And the last time I saw him play was when he was with the Houston Rockets and he came to play the Brooklyn Nets. So to finish off this video, I met him in person at a book signing in NYC. He wrote a children's book, and I was a teenager at the time, so I really had no use for it, but I was like, I'm not gonna pass up this opportunity to see him. He's in my neck of the woods. I'm from New Jersey, and he's coming to NYC. So I ended up going to see him in person. He signed my book, and I got to take a picture with him at the side of me and with his amazing wife, Jada. Hopefully this video gave you all a little insight on why Chris Paul is still my favorite player till this day. Not only is he a great talent on the court, but he also seems like a real genuine guy off it. And that's why I gravitated towards him. So before you leave, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Till next time, it's Coach Kev, Purpose Driven, and I'm out. Peace.